Welcome back to the league that means nothing on Go Again Gaming.
Welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome back to the league that means nothing. For I am your voice of the league, or one of your many voices of the league this season, Ian Holland. And today we have a returning league champion, Kenneth Shivers, here to take on Ryan Ward. Kenneth has decided to put those draconic heroes and illusionists to the side, take on the challenge, I guess, of playing Betsy. Are we going to bet big on Guardian this season, or is Ryan Ward, who's taking on the most successful hero in the last week of Nationals, Arachne, slip through the cracks? And is he going to manage to assassinate Betsy and slip away? Speaking of, is it weird that his name is spelt in Leet Speak? Does that imply that Leet Speak is canon in the world of Wraith? Like, do people in Metrics type that way? There's only one way to find out, I guess. That would be to DM. Anyway, not important. What is important is the gameplay. So we're going to throw over to that and see how it goes.
This episode, League That Means Nothing, is brought to you by Invasion Comic Books, a comics and collectibles shop out of Canada, specialising in current and older books, but also stocking Warhammer, D&D, Funko Pops, Magic, Flesh and Blood, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but also some retro games as well across Sega, Nintendo, and PlayStation. Now, for viewers of the League That Means Nothing, you've got some cracking discount codes here. We've got TLTMN10 for 10% off all of your Flesh and Blood singles, and we've got TLTMN Crew 10 for 10% off Sealed Crucible of War. So that's TLTMN 10 for 10% off Fab singles, and TLTMN Crew for 10% off Sealed Crucible of War. Make sure you go and check them out. Invasion Comic Books out of Canada.
Never want to see that one. That is 2 reds being pitched into a Hunter's Clave on turn 1. Justinic and Saber Bloodshed as well, so they're really good reds. And that is met with a Crush Confidence. We're going to flick a dagger, dealing a point of damage, marking Kenneth. Ideal. But look, we take what we can get. A lot of pumps. Yes, another pump and an Orb Weaver Spinneret. And I guess we're going to make our graphene calculator. Don't put the second clave in the graveyard. That would be bad. Little reminder bead on the flick knives that it has been used. And then we have a sink below. So this sink below is going to pay for the graphene Calicera, which I don't know if it's the best time to be using that on turn 1 when it's getting blocked out, especially not by something like a Test of Strength, which is going to not only block it out, but create a gold for Kenneth. Kenneth looks like he's wandered off to grab himself a gold here. Very important. Kind of need those tokens. Yeah, so we've got our gold, our mini gold token here for Betsy. After all, you have just won a Test of Strength. I don't know, is it hard to win a Test of Strength if you're a giant woman versus a computer virus? Someone tell me what the lore of Slip Through the Cracks is. I understand how the other arachnes work. Slip Through the Cracks I'm less aware of. Anyway, Ryan draws up to 4. And Kenneth trying to decide how he's going to plan out his turn. Trying to decide what we're activating with what, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to pitch Chokeslam, create a Seismic Surge using our Tectonic Plating. We're going to use our gold with our good time chapeau. Really, the only thing that Betsy has over other Guardians is the fact that you can trigger her hero text on demand. But, Silk and Bravo just by paying resources, am I right? But we're going to overpower this Command and Conquer for 7 on hit, might, and vigor. Turns out maybe Ryan was just seeing slightly into the future by getting that sink below to the bottom of the deck instead of in the arsenal. So we commit 6 block here, taking 1 point of damage. Kenneth wins his first bet. The first wager of the game has been won with an arsenal and a seismic surge, a might and a vigor. And Ryan is going to, with a 2-card hand, send back a casual 7. E-strike for 7. Just good, standard, strong flesh and blood. Not bad at all. Met with a wallop and a thunk. Both cards that are only good when they're on top of your deck and are terrible in your hand. Well, thunk is a blue 6. And here we have a prime to fight. So, cost 5. Reduced by 1 for seismic surge. Reduced by 1 for having a vigor. Costs 1 we have 1 resource floating. So we functionally have 2 resources, 2 resource cost. By pitching this blue, it looks like we have a spare resource. Also, gets +1 from a might. And then +1 because you control the might. So it looks like Kenneth might have forgotten that he would have a spare resource here. Just realizing that we have the spare resource floating, I think. Yeah, there we go. In a show of sportsmanship, the best kind of sportsmanship that you will see all throughout Flesh and Blood, we have Ryan allowing Kenneth to use that spare resource for a seismic surge, blocking 3 with a spreading plague. Favorite card of Edge of Air, Conor McGrath on Blue Sky and Twitter. Ask him about it and Shoma. Oh, great story. Anyway, 4 drawn up for Kenneth. Seismic Surge card in Arsenal. What is Ryan going to do with a 3-card hand? So here we have Graphene Calicera. Graphene Calculator is a stealth attack, so it has Go Again from Arachne Slip Through the Cracks hero text, which we don't see there on that Marvel, but has also got Go Again because it is attacking a marked opponent. And then we're going to follow that up with an Infect, coming in for 3. One of the less threatening on hits in a stealth attack, but it's still a couple points of damage. It's better than nothing. But we're going to win our test of strength because the Tarantula Toxin does not beat an actual attack, making it gold. And we are blocking currently 4 on 3. No, never mind. We're blocking 1 on 3. Tarantula Toxin. Choose one or both. Tiger Dagger attack. We're not a dagger. Target card defending an attack with stealth gets -3 defense. So it's like a yellow shred, but modal. So that test of strength is now blocking for 1, 3 damage taken, and a blood rot. And we have an arsenal. Seismic Surge pops. Arclight Sentinel. Don't forget, they pop at the start of your action phase, so if people can respond to them, they will. That's the Arclight Sentinel, or the Gravy Bones Chum special. Let's see what Kenneth decides to do here. We do have gold, so we can fuel a good time chapeau if we so choose. We can also draw a card if we wish. Well, we're going to start by making Seismic Surge 2 floating. And then we're going to send in a Drinkum under the table. So this costs 3. We have 2 floating. We can wager with our opponent that if they can't block it out, we'll draw a card. If they can block it out, we'll discard a card. But whoever blocks it, whoever takes damage, if Ryan takes damage, Kenneth gets to draw a card. If Ryan doesn't take damage, Ryan gets to draw a card. Slippy is pretty content to work in these kind of situations, but we are paying 2 into the Betsy ability, so it's getting +1, so it's coming in for 9, which isn't huge, but it's not small. But again, 6 for 9 isn't exactly what I would call rate. It's only on rate if it works. But no, Ryan is immediately moving towards blocking here. Blocking 5. And sink below. So that's 9 block. 9 block. Kenneth is going to be forced to discard a card. Ryan is going to draw. Looks like we're sinking from the crown. A little bit of out of order sequencing, but that's fine. So Kenneth looking at that card in his hand, going like, "Dag." I wonder if it's a good one. But yes, we're going to discard a disable. Guardian Stable. Welcome to Wraith. Rocking, as usual. I mean, most of the good Guardian cards, bar like a handful, are Welcome to Wraith specials. Or Tales of Aria. Back when Guardian was a class that you could elect to play. I say this knowing Victor is one of Nationals, but like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, dog. Betsy losing a bet. So we're 50-50 on bets. Nominative determinism and terrible puns not quite paying off just yet. But here we go. Hunter's Clave pitching a Persuasive Prognosis. Not a card that Guardians are usually very equipped to deal with because no one wants to give up 1. And then any pumps or anything else, usually puts you in an awkward spot. And then now Kiss of Death with Go Again. When this hits a hero, they lose a life. This card rocks. Shout out Max Ferocity for that epic spoiler. But 3 on hit, they lose a life. It is a dagger. So Tarantula Toxin interacts with it. And you can flick it. And there's the Tarantula Toxin, as if by magic, the one we saw from the top of the deck. I am not psychic, I just pay attention. So this is +3 and -3 to their defense. But Kenneth chose not to defend. And then we'll follow it up with a Leave No Witnesses. That one might see some amount of blocks just because it's 4 more damage. I've already taken 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, taking a total. Because when we flick Kiss of Death, we also get the -1 health. It's quite the chunk of damage here. And we get to banish a card. So we're banishing a blue. No silver for you, Slippy. So Ryan now 7 points clear in the lead. But Kenneth managed to hold on to most of his hand. And we have a Seismic Surge triggering. Never mind, we're making a new one. Pitching a blue. And then we're going to bet big. So when this attacks, you wager a gold, might, and vigor all of the tokens from heavy hitters that Guardians could make. And it looks like we've also paid 2 into Betsy, so that's going to be +1 on overpower. So that's going to be 9 overpower. Wagering a might, a vigor, and a gold. Just tapping all the things, even though tapping is only brand new in high seas. So committing Orb Weaver Spinneret to our block. Taking 6. Life totals evened up a little bit. We have 2 gold now. A might, a vigor, a seismic surge. We're all set for next year, next turn even, not next year. So Ryan has decided he's going to be a pain in the arse. Pain in the backside. 3 go again. Assassin and ninja. But when it deals damage, if it hits, you get to stab them with a knife. Without destroying it, which is a big deal. So you get to Hunter's Clave, mark your opponent. So if really it says 3 go again, it's actually 4 go again. 3 can be 4. 3 can in fact be 4, if you just believe hard enough. 2 cards in hand. Generally speaking, not a lot of the assassin attack reactions will affect this card. Kenneth really milking this one here. I'm just taking the 4 anyway. Hold out a card, pull it back, hold out a card, pull it. It's like watching Oldham. It's not even watching Oldham, watching people try and block Oldham. Then we're going to follow that up with the Hunter's Clave, which is going to do a bit of stabbing anyway. And then we're going to savor some bloodshed. Send in the Graphene Calicera. So Graphene Calicera is coming in here for 5 go again. On hit, draw a card. Immediately blocked out. We've noticed that Ryan is very hesitant to Arsenal in this matchup. I assume is just worried about the threat of Command and Conquer, perhaps. But here we go. We have a resource. We have a reduction. We have a might. Are we going to have a prime to fight again? We're immediately cashing that resource in to make a seismic surge. And we're going to bet big again. So that is 2 in a row. 3 turns in a row, we've played a specialization. Drink them under the table, bet big, bet big. Ryan asking, probably, is that the 3rd one? But nope. But this is coming in for 10 overpower. 4 cards in hand. We will make a Might Vigor and gold. Brian just blocking there with a double trouble, taking 7 points, allowing Kenneth to be now, he's what, 75% to win his bets. With some good odds, I'd take those. But we do have 3 cards in hand as Slippy, and I'm sure we could do something with those. And a Tunic counter. Tunic is always good. I often tell that to people, new players, like, do I need Tunic? I was like, no, not in a lot of decks, but it's never bad. But here we go. Hunter's Clave. Stabby stabby. In comes 1 on hit. Mark you. You're already marked. Who cares? So 1 damage dealt. Like Kenneth was ever going to block that. Just taking a peek at the graveyard. Trying to figure out what we've been through, maybe. If we have a codex in hand. And here we go. Art of Desire Body. If this hits, banish the top card of the deck. If you banish a red, draw a card, gain a life. Not always a guarantee against Guardian. This card sees a lot of play in Disinter. And there's the third bet big. It just Kenneth had them back to back to back to back. And then we followed up with the Assassin staple, the one that has been around since Dynasty. Leave no witnesses. Strain. No, so we're blocking with the Good Time Chapeau. And nothing else. Sure. 2 damage dealt. Top card banished. It is a Macho Grande. So nothing of value was lost. Just it's one of your better ways of closing out the game, but it's not like crazy. Not like the most important card in the deck by far. But again, we see Ryan just content to play without Arsenal. So we're going, ooh, big money. Someone's a big money spender. Pitching the riches of Trouble Danny, 300 plus US dollars into the pitch zone, all to create a gold and make some resources. Between a Seismic Surge and our Vigor, that's 4 total mana resources floating there. Let's see what we're going to do with it. Are we going to do anything? We are going to say we are primed to fight. Once again, that bet paying off. And it looks like we are, in fact, wagering using the Good Time Chapeau. So this is 11. Wagering a Might and a Vigor, trying to carry them on to the next turn. Are we going to activate Betsy as well? Or are we just sending a casual 11? Yeah, looks like it's just a casual 11. We're going to block a chunk. Take 4. Another bet 1 for Betsy. It's now 80% win rate. Pretty good. I'd kill for an 80% win rate, I'm not going to lie. Okay. So pain in the backside met by a block of a buckling blow. And then into Kiss of Death. The extended art cold foil is so sick. Kiss of Death. 3 on hit, lose life. And that is blocked by Debilitate. We're just all welcome to Wraith staples here. And then followed up with a Graphene Killicera. Again, looks like playing off Arsenal, but sending the flick of the Kiss of Death for 2 points of damage and not blocking the Graphene, taking another 1. So we have 1 floating from our Vigor. And here we go. Command and Conquer. We are wagering and we are overpowering. So we have 7, 8 overpower for on a CNC. No Arsenal to blow up, but like, sure, look, why not? 8 damage is 8 damage when your opponent's at 12, you know what I mean? And it looks like, yeah, we're just going to cough up the full 8 here, take up the mantle, savor bloodshed, tunic, flick knives. Always good when you get the flick knives off the assassin player because it is so crucial to the how the deck works. Like, these assassins are flick knives decks, and it just takes a couple of points of uncounterable damage off the board. So Ryan has a resource and a might. So that Callister is currently free. Functionally free. Thinking about what he's going to do with all these resources, by which I mean 1, and how we're going to spend it. And it turns out we're just going to Command and Conquer. Probably would have sent the Callister myself, personally. It's free. You might as well. Suppose wanted the +1 on the Command and Conquer. But yeah, there we go. 7 block. Blocking with 3 Welcome to Wraith cards. I swear Guardian has gotten support since Welcome to Wraith. Oh my god. But just drawing up again, content. We're still off Arsenal. And we're going to tear asunder and hammer for 7. 7 on hit. Please discard 2 cards. Now I bet you wish you had an Arsenal. But not much say in the manner. Either we block 3 and lose 2 cards, or we block nothing and lose 2 cards and keep 2. Kind of an awkward spot. I've played a lot of decks where if someone sends tear asunder and I don't have the defense reaction, I just go, sure. What 2 cards do I want to play out my turn? Because Guardian notoriously can just brick off and do nothing. But no, Ryan is going to sink below. I hope that wasn't the top card of your deck. Oh my god, then maybe you should have played the only teasing. But are we sinking a card? And we're taking 3. Trigger. Remember, kids, announce your triggers. Losing what looked like a double trouble and a razor's edge. So we have a 1-card hand, which is an arsenal. So Betsy, like many guardians, not always great at converting 4-card hands. But let's see what Kenneth has planned. Big things here. But at least it gives us the room to make a seismic surge if we so choose. So we are going to say money where your mouth is, pitching a red. Yeah, pitching that, and then pitching a boulder drop. So we're going to go Anothos coming in for 9. Are we wagering? We are. We're wagering a gold. That's fine. What's Slippy going to do with the gold? Pitch a yellow to it? It's not a huge amount of resource cards. It's notoriously resource light are the new Arachne Assassins. So let's see what Ryan decides to do here. Big bonk, big 9. So looks like we're going to take 2. Kenneth is going to win another wager. So more gold for Betsy, which seems to be sitting in her ever-growing but slightly forgotten pile. And as Ryan gets chipped down and sends in E-Strike. Choosing modes. So this could be 7, set up an arsenal. Could be 7, Snapdragons. Could be 5, go again. So many options. Well, like 3 options. Could be 5 draw cards. Snapdragons play 2 other cards. But yeah, we have 2 cards committed on blocks into Snapdragon Scalers, 1 damage taken. So it is, in fact, that into Leave No Witnesses. So this is going to come in for 4. Ryan really does not want to play with an arsenal at all. Especially now that, even though we've seen all like most of the Command and Conquerors, I think. Yes. Like Slippy plays really well when you establish space to set up an arsenal. So maybe we're just trying to be as aggressive as possible. But it looks like Kenneth is going to line up some blocks here. Yes, so we're going to line up blocks, and we have a Gauntlets of Iron Will trigger. Should Ryan have some tricky way of giving it +2, it would only be +1. Either way, we're full blocked. 10 plays 7, back to Kenneth with a card in hand and a card in arsenal. So we're going to make a seismic surge. Pop a gold, draw a card, make a seismic surge, pitch a blue, send the hammer for 6. And that's the benefit of having gold. Gold is in fact the payoff when it means you can draw cards. Just ask Gravy Bones. And that deck can draw some cards. You look at so many cards. It looks like we're full blocking, taking no damage. 10 plays 7. 2 cards for 2 cards. Not always the game you want to play with a Guardian. A Guardian is very happy to trade 2 cards for 2 cards back and forth. But here comes an Infect for 3 with Go Again. Go Again because of Arachne slipped through the cracks. He does have hero text. They do have hero text. I apologize, Arachne. 3 on hit. Give up Blood Rot. And we're going to block with Crush the Weak, which is ironic considering the bevy of 3 power attacks being sent at us. And here comes an Art of Desire Body, which on hit will banish the top card, gain life, draw card, blah, 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 blah. But nope, there's the last Command and Conquer. Now it's time to set up an arsenal. Let's go. When you're playing a deck like Slippy, setting things in your arsenal really forces your opponent to have to play in a weird way. But here we go. Pitch, make a seismic surge. We have 2 floating. And we are going to drink them under the table, coming in for 4, for 8, pitching, costing 4. And then we're going to trigger Betsy, so it's going to be 9 overpower. On hit, you discard a card, I draw a card. Let's see how Ryan responds to this one. Also of note, Kenneth playing on that beautiful League That Means Nothing Season 3 playmat, courtesy of Mr. James White himself. Let's see what we do here. Ryan could block 3 and risk going down to 1 in order to try and steal some tempo, but it's going to be hard with a quick dodge flexors just sitting on the board like that. Yeah, so we're going to go to 1 where you're going to discard a card and Kenneth gets to draw, which is going to be pocketed immediately into Arsenal. And Clave, yeah, the pitching that Bonds of Agony, not really a card that has a lot of text. Once you've used all your equipment, your free ways of turning it on are all gone. So 1, this Clave has done work this game, by the way. Holy crap. I would wager most of this damage, at least 10 plus points of it have been dealt by knives. Daggers. Sorry, knives aren't daggers. Daggers aren't knives. Guns aren't pistols. A pistol is not a gun. And taking 1. We spend our time deliberating, choosing blocks, and then go, eh. And here comes a Codex of Frailty. So this is going to grab probably leave no witnesses unless there's a 1 for 5 in the yard that I'm unaware of. But we can send graphene into. Graphene would have go again in this situation. That's all. So full block, draw for ponder, arsenal, go. If Kenneth survives on 1, I'm going to look like a genius. Anyway, seismic surge trigger. We're going to play money where your mouth is. We're going to say, here's my Anothos. We're going to activate Betsy. So it's going to be 9 overpower. Obviously, Kenneth has 10 there, forgetting about the frailty token because it's not face up on his board. But that Anothos is for 9. And Ryan is going to have to find a way to deal with that. Because otherwise, Ryan is going to be a very, very dead sentient computer virus. Lead speak named thing. But here we have double reaction and an E-strike to block 9. That's a wee gold for Arachne slip through the cracks. I don't know what a sentient virus has use for money, but we're going to pitch our codex, send in the clave. Or are we sending something else? Sorry, send in the Calicera, the calculator. The graphene calculator. Coming in for 1. On hit, remove your mark. You are no longer Mark. Goodbye, Mark. Yeah, tarantula toxin, so +3. And Kenneth didn't block, so we don't get the second effect, but we'll put him to 5. Really, Ryan absolutely bailed out by that frailty token last turn, because if it had been 10, we would not be continuing the commentary of this game. Oh, look at that, Ryan with his own very shiny gold token from a High Seas treasure pack. Love a treasure pack. Very cool, very cool. What is Kenneth going to do here? We're going to play money where your mouth is. We're going to say, here's my hammer. Are we going to wager? We have 2 cards. Oh no, it's 10 if we activate. Yeah. So there we have 9 block and a fist bump because we take 1. I would imagine we do not have a D-react or anything in hand. We just have 1 more action. So we are very dead. Turns out Kenneth is more than just a Draconic 1 trick. I apologize for any previous statements about how terrible Betsy is because she looked great that game. Really seemed to know exactly what he was doing at all points in the game. Did Kenneth Shivers, dominating, pushing on hits. Overpower looked fine. It's not dominate, but it looked fine. Slippy couldn't really deal with it because you don't want to give up all those reactions because those reactions are kind of how you kill people. Because otherwise, you're just sending spicy head jabs. Tough break for Ryan. Looked like there was a couple of turns middle of the game where we'd really clawed into the game and had kind of pulled it back, but just couldn't quite set up the 5-card hands that you really need to punish Guardians. Congratulations, Kenneth, moving on to the next round with a win. And Ryan, I'm sure you will come back stronger in the next game. But for now, I hope you liked the video, because if you did, I would love if you would like the video. Down below, please click the like button. Make sure you comment. Let Az know all of his hard work is so appreciated. It has given me and many others a chance to talk nonsense about Flesh and Blood on the internet. And then, when you're done with that, you can subscribe to Go Again Gaming so that you get all of the League That Means Nothing Season 4 on your YouTube notifications. I have been your voice of the league today, Ian Holland, findlespirit.bsky.social, and you can find me there talking all kinds of nonsense, not just flesh and blood, but pro wrestling or anything else that catches my fancy. And I will see you in the next one.